Intoxxikated Television. We back up in this motherfucker, and we have special guests in the motherfucking house today. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey, what's up? My name's Jason. I'm DJ SKINHEADSPIRIT69 from Reno, Nevada, man.
AKA. Yeah, man. So, what's good with you today, bro? So, actually, we've seen each other out at shows, like, over the years and stuff like that. Fucking run into each other and stuff like that. But this is actually the first time, like, we sitting down to actually, like, talk and hang out and, spill shit about each other and shit. So it's nice to meet you, man.
Nice
and
to meet you.
welcome,
Finally, man, get to know you.
Welcome to Intoxxikated Television.
Thank you,
man.
thank you, man.
I mean, I kind of gave you the rundown. You said you watched a couple episodes, but we always start off about what's your earliest memory of something musical, like from like little baby shit or something, you know, like little tiny, like what's your earliest memories of music, or like whatever, wherever it is?
Well, probably my earliest memories of music was probably like with my mom and stuff, like probably 5 years old, and she was into heavy metal, like, and I was born in Burbank, California.
All right.
So it definitely, like, the music scene was, you know, she was watching Metallica in small bar venues like Alturas and stuff like that.
Oh, shit.
So it was like growing up with that kind of like very heavy metal, like she was one of those
just around the house.
Yeah. So she was very like Poison and bands like that. She was like, oh, they're sissy bands. Like she was one of that on the more of the leather clad, you know, side of it, not so much the glam rock. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, gotcha.
So it was like I was born in '78, so growing up, you know, early '80s, you know, shit like that was definitely, you know, a big, you know, part of my life was heavy metal and stuff like that. And, yeah, she used to go to shows all the time, and fucking I'd sit in the car and wait for her to come out. She was pretty
Goddamn.
Yeah, like,
all right.
Stay low in the car so nobody sees you, you know? She'd put up like a sleeping bag back there and be like, hey, I'm going to a show, you know?
All right.
Something I've never done to my kids.
right. Not in these days and shit. You gotta lock your doors.
It was a different era, whatever, man. You know, I guess.
Okay, so that was like, is there any songs that's like stick out from your, like, you know, like, so if that's the type of stuff she was playing around the house, is there like something that like sticks in your mind?
Judas Priest, Hellbent for Leather.
Okay,
that was a song that I remember, like, it echoed in my head to this day. It's like, it's almost like when you hear like old nursery rhymes.
Okay,
and I'm like, oh yeah, you know, like hellbent.
Like, so about like what age do you think?
Probably 7. When I started really, like, you know, going, oh yeah, I love this, you know, have my mom buy me Metallica shirts and Iron Maiden shirts and stuff like that, you know.
All right, that's dope. Fair enough. So you mentioned that your mom went to a lot of shows. What was your first show?
My first show was at the Fallout Shelter, and 7 Seconds played.
Oh wow, that's fucking dope for a show.
It was you know where the old low bar is now?
No.
It's like on Liberty Street. It don't matter, but like, so back when I was a kid, the first show I went to, and it was
here in Reno.
Yeah, here in Reno.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, and I was a baldy back then too, and it was like we'd go to these shows, and where they had it was there was a gangplank that went in the basement, and above was a gay bar.
Okay.
And so we'd go to punk shows down there, and it was pretty much a BYOB. You know, everybody would be partying out, hanging from the sewage system on the roof, like swinging their legs, and it was pretty wild. It was for now, like it was a legit bar or a venue. It was a venue. It was like the Cellar.
Okay, but they didn't serve alcohol. But you were encouraged to bring your own shit.
Yeah.
Even underage kids.
Oh yeah, it was the 90s.
Fair enough. So about how old are you drinking?
Probably I started drinking at probably like 15, 16 years old. You know what I mean? Like, and then there used to be at Jackson's, we used to be able to go and get beer from, and they asked me for my ID. And I'd say, "Oh, I got my ID taken from me from fucking, driving with my motorcycle too fast." And I don't know what they knew. We were buying Meisterbrow, man. We were like little kids buying like $5 fucking 12 packs.
I don't know what the fuck.
They didn't. Yeah,
they fucking want your money.
They didn't give a shit. And so and so we would we'd get our fucking couple 12 packs of Meisterbrow and then go to a show and shit. And I remember the first show I went to was there and at the Fallout. And when we went out, all the Mohawks started yelling homophobic slurs. And
because of the gay bar?
Because of the gay bar upstairs.
Okay.
And then so back then, every bald dude, well, like today, all bald dudes are Nazi. So when they came downstairs, they just started fucking up every bald guy they found. Okay. And we're not talking about no sissy lalas, man. We're talking like the mean mugs, dude, the guys who were down to fight.
There's there's a comedian there's a comedian joke. I forgot who said it, but they're like, I ain't fucking with no gay dude. Like, no. If you taking it up the ass, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's a tough motherfucker there. I ain't fucking with you, bro. Like, fucking, I know, you know pain, bro. Fuck you up and shit. Like, I ain't fucking around, bro. Like, do your thing, bro. It's all good and shit.
And they're spending a lot of time in the gym. You know what I mean? Like, they get. They're not fucking slouching, man. They were whooping our ass all down the parking lot.
So the gay people were like beating up all the little kids and shit.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. We're coming out. We're a little buzzed. They're definitely fucking drunk off their ass. They've been in a bar all night. And
I'd be like, hey, I'm not gonna let some little kid talk shit to me, motherfucker.
Yeah.
In a dress, I'll fuck you up. And shit. Like,
it was hostile as fuck. But we loved going to shows there. It was great. It was definitely an era, man. Oasis was down on Virginia Street, and then there was a couple of always house shows going on, stuff like that.
Yeah, I heard about it, man. I didn't grow up out here, but I heard about all the fucking house parties that you guys used to have, and I actually I know of that. They're like, I know people like we'd be driving by and they're like, "Oh man, we used to fucking rage in that fucking basement.
Yeah.
Like we used to tear that fucking house up and shit." Yeah, so I wasn't out here. I missed all that and shit. But that's pretty dope, man. Like that y'all had like a house party scene. Fucking like what are some of the bands like?
Oh, I don't even know anymore, dude. Some of they would come up and then they would
go
away.
Vampires
you know
and
what I mean?
Shit used to do a bunch of house parties and stuff like that, like from back in the day.
It was always like a bunch of kids that got together and started a band. And then back in the day, like bands would only last like a week. You know what I mean? Okay. Like it would be like, Bobby fucked my girlfriend. Band's over. But it didn't have it wasn't nobody really had any longevity. You know what I mean? So it was always like thrasher punk bands, you know what I mean? It was people that I were friends with, that kind of were like in the punk rock scene. So
is there anything that you remember that sticks out from the 7 Seconds show that first time, or like
no,
what was the experience for like your first time, like your first show?
People all packed in the basement of a fucking gay bar. I literally was like, my buddy goes, "We're going to this show," and I'm like, I'm having this moment. I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm ready for this shit. You know what I mean? It was. I remember mosh pitting. Yeah, of that. And that kind of was like, I'm like, fucking. It was almost like finding that outlet where it's like you were being violent, but like in a fun and fun. Right. You know what I mean? Like, and I fell in love with that. Right. That whole attitude of like people being able to be angry and not have such fucking bullshit around it.
Still being nice to your neighbor. And
shit. Because for a long time it was like I had, everybody goes through the teenage angst.
It's not like it is today, man.
No, not at all. Not at all.
These motherfuckers. I mean, they're okay. Let's go ahead. We can speak on this. Go ahead.
Okay. Like, and then because I have a lot of homeboys that are in the hardcore scene. And I, and being from the old days of punk rock, you know what I mean? To where you're having this like total community feel to the scene. To where now it's like you got crowd killing. If somebody comes up and punches me in the fucking face more than 3 times, I'm probably gonna get a little fucking pissed and stab you, dumbass. And you should have known better. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not, but I don't. I there's a point where I separate myself and I go, you know what? I'm not into it. It's not my scene. I get it. I still go to shows, but I try to stay as far back as I can so I don't get, donkey kicked or some shit in the face.
I guess so we're talking the 90s and shit. So I mean, 90s, early 2000s, I went to so many fucking shows, same thing, but there was always that fucking big jock fucking dude in the crowd. Yeah. That's fucking being mean and pushing people down and fucking shit like that, or and there's always that one fucking bully in the pit that fucking just fucking it up for everybody, just being a fucking douchebag and shit. You know what I mean? Just they're only there just to fucking be an asshole and fucking hurt people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And those are the people that I fucking never fucking got. I would to this day, if I see that shit, I'll fucking go bum rush. How do you like that shit? You feel me? You don't. Oh, you go knock the biggest dude over and shit. They don't like that shit. Yeah. But it's well, you do. I take this is a little bit of your own medicine, motherfucker. And just as far as mosh shit goes now, holy fuck, man. We just opened for Vended a couple of weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And that's Slipknot's kids fucking band and shit. The singer and the drummer from Slipknot, their kids have a band now.
Oh, okay.
And fucking we opened for them, and dude, the kids in the fucking pit were doing that fucking rail shit, fucking the fucking ninja kicks and shit like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this shit is fucking looks crazy. I'm like, dude, if you fucking drop kick me or fucking some shit in the fucking face, fucking it's game over time, dude. Man. We're not moshing anymore.
Yeah.
Now you just want to fucking
everybody's night.
Now you want to fucking fight and shit. Right, or some girl gets fucking kicked in the face from some backspin fucking kung fu move and shit.
Yeah.
Bro, fucking there's problems and shit.
I just feel like there's no community in it. You know what I mean? I mean, they're all bound together, but we bonded over mosh pitting. When we got in the pit, and I would go, dude, yeah. There was more, you know what I mean? I feel like there was a lot of community involved in it. Where it's now it's
it's just individual fucking
individuality.
Who can do the most? It's fucking art. It's ballerina shit or something.
I want to almost.
It's aggressive ballerina fucking and kung fu mixed together.
Yeah. I almost want to blame social media. Because it made everybody an island, man. You sit there on your fucking Facebook and you try to make yourself a star and all that shit. And then when I see these guys out there doing their thing, they're by themselves, dude. There's not a community feel to it, dude. You're just out there fucking hog flailing, you know what I mean? For no apparent reason,
I don't fucking get it, but I guess we're old.
That's what it is, yeah.
We were just talking about that outside about we're to that point where it's I don't understand this generation, but it's they didn't understand ours either. Yeah. Fucking.
That's what I always step back from it too. I always say that, man, because nobody got me when I was a kid.
Right.
Nobody's gonna. I'm not. You know what I mean? And it's we're not gonna get it because we'd be one. You know what I mean? You'd be in the scene if you got it. You know what I mean? My mom used to say this. She used to say this when I was a kid. She'd go, I don't understand pedophiles. Not that I'm associating them with them. Not that I'm associating them with them, but she goes, and I go, well, if you got it, you'd be one. You know what I mean? If you understood where they were coming from, you'd be one. You know, and I think that happens with a lot of cultures where it's just and I take that to extreme, but but it's any scene, and I came up with that in my home when I was a little kid.
I hope that fucking I don't get flagged for that.
But it's
I hope they don't take this video down.
Yeah, right. If you don't get it, then you're probably not a part of it. So it's it's not your.
It makes sense.
I'm sorry, man. if you lose your YouTube, I'm sorry,
I mean, that was an extreme comparison. but in reality, you know,
I'm all loaded on Trulies.
Oh, cheers.
Cheers, mate. Cheers.
Oh, by the way, I want to shout out fucking Machine Gun Vendetta. Fucking go get your fucking beer koozie immediately at a fucking show near you. I think that they're playing in a couple of weeks actually. They got a show coming up. I think at the brew house.
Oh, okay.
I think it's early November. By the time this comes out, fucking it probably might be over, but if but still go fucking Machine Gun Vendetta. And that's our homies, man. And Jimmy's in our band now too, so yeah. That's fucking cool. He brought this. We were podcasting last night, and we were podcasting last night, and he brought this, and he's like, "Hey, fucking put your beer in here and fucking show it off." And I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And then we got we got talking, and I told
shameless self promotion.
Yeah, I totally fucking spaced it out. We got like wrapped up in convo, and we were hanging out. It was late. Nobody wanted to be here, and we kind of got a little intoxicated and fucking. But it was good content. But anyway,
check it out.
back to the station at hand and shit.
Yeah.
We still got time. Yeah. So okay. So I was asking you about the show, and you were like, that was like one of your first mosh pit, basically.
Yeah.
And so it went from there. What do you have a first band that you remember that you like discovered kind of like by yourself, like without your mom's or like other influences?
But we used to, so there used to be these places where you could go and buy CDs of music, okay, like, and they were called music stores, you know. I know, like, there was a place called JJ's Ear Candy in Carson.
Before that, there was cassettes. Before that, there was fucking.
There used to be radio stations, but I remember the first band I ever picked up on my own without anybody like influencing my shit. I saw Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds.
Okay.
Murder Ballads.
All right.
And this is like, so like my mom was into heavy metal, so I started getting into like death metal. Like I was like, I was like, I went to the extreme. It was so extreme. So it was like Cannibal Corpse, you know what I mean? I remember the first time I ever heard Cannibal Corpse. We went to the video rental place, and we rented Faces of Death. Okay, and this was my first time ever like hearing like Cannibal Corpse or any of this shit set to this like bloated bodies in the river, fucking like, you know, like.
Remember that dude that
I went through a very dark.
Remember that dude that fell from the parachute into the alligator?
Yeah.
Holy fuck, man! God damn, Faces of Death.
Yeah. So that made me fall. Like I got into.
These kids don't know, bro.
No. Hammer smash face, motherfucker.
Now they can just watch somebody get their head chopped off on fucking YouTube.
Yeah.
And shit.
But that was my first introduction into like death metal, and I it was like so much different than my mom's at the time.
Okay.
And so like,
you grew up on metal and then took it to the extreme.
Yeah. And then
fuck yeah.
And then I kind of made it like, and then I came around to like, because there wasn't like a scene, you know what I mean? So it's like, I started listening to punk rock and like and seeing local bands and supporting local bands, and that was mostly, you know, and that's how I got into punk rock. And then as I got more into being a skinhead, that's when I started learning about Tootin' the Maytals, reggae, and started getting, you know, more of the third wave ska movement was happening at that time. And I was totally against ska because it was like these bands were seriously crap, you know what I mean? It was like really bad bands, you know what I mean? And so, but then I started finding like, but then I, you know, listening to Operation Ivy, you know what I mean? Like when I was a skinhead, that was like Operation Ivy was the band, You know what I mean? We were listening to them all the fucking time, you know? So it was like definitely
24/7.
Yeah. Because they were the only band out there really mixing ska with punk rock. And you know what I mean? And then so just falling in love with that fucking reggae and stuff like that kind of really projected me into a different realm where it's like I started seeing myself as a punk rocker. I started seeing myself more as a reggae guy who didn't have dreadlocks.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I would always give it up to the Clash.
Yes.
Like that kind of really started mixing the reggaeton
and the Specials. I mean,
the Specials.
But if it wasn't for the Clash, the Specials wouldn't exist.
That's right.
I hate this. And I'm probably wrong on that, but at the same time, I'm like, the Clash really created the inclusive nature
with the dub and stuff. Like they really did. Like I don't know, man. The Clash is one of my top.
Yeah, hands down. Like right.
But
now.
no, I mean I get it. Like with the more punk for that time Operation Ivy definitely like fucking.
And we're living in Reno, so like when I was a kid, some ass
would they come and play here?
No, I never. I saw Rancid.
Okay.
And then but like not.
Where did Rancid play when
they played the Oasis?
Oh no! Shit.
Right on Virginia Street, right down the street
Oasis?
From. No, yeah, it was a new Oasis. It was like on the
Victoria.
It was right. No, it was on Virginia Street. It was the Oasis, and then the new Oasis over there. Okay. Because they were right next to Shays. They were like down the street. You know where that like that. There's like a bar now, but it used to be the Oasis right there.
The Cypress.
Not the Cypress. No, dude, more down toward downtown.
The other way?
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. On the corner there where that like cheese place is.
No, I wasn't.
There's a bunch of weird crap bars there.
I wasn't here.
Yeah. This is old Reno fucking history.
That's cool, man. Yeah. No, this is shit I don't know about. Yeah. So it's interesting.
I mean, and I remember.
So they played in just some little dive bar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And about how old were you?
I was probably fucking 18.
Damn, dude, that must have been fucking amazing.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It's like their first album, or
it would have been. Let's
Go era.
Out Came the Wolves.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Holy fuck! I would have lost my fucking goddamn mind.
And then we went to the show and we got fucked up and we walked down.
I still have one of those wall posters that are like fucking like. You know, like a fucking, it's like fucking like
yay big by yay big.
Yeah, no, like it takes up half your fucking wall and shit. I still have that fucking poster somewhere. It's probably all ripped up and fucked up, but if anybody wants to fucking buy that shit, fucking send me a price,
right,
and I'll see if I'm willing to part with it or not.
But that like
you smoke weed?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. So,
but like. That's what like when I was like getting into like I was like 14. I'm 46. I'm gonna be 46 in December.
Okay.
And I remember I was 14, became a skinhead, and it was like there wasn't a lot of fucking like I was a sharp, so there wasn't a lot of music there for us. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it definitely was like guys coming from the East Coast or the West Coast would be crashing at somebody's house. They have a cassette tape of like New York hardcore bands and stuff like that were coming up. You know what I mean? So it's like, so you had to bring your own blank.
As what? Like fucking Bad Brains and shit, or that's way after that, right?
Yeah, that's way after. Yeah.
It would like what? What kind of bands were they turning you on to from the East Coast?
Oh fuck, man, I can't even remember the bands, dude. I just remember the moments in my life. Because a lot of the bands didn't fucking, it was like, because you didn't know, you just like. You had a cassette tape and you go over with a blank and you record over it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you would have like your little cassette tape from the guy from the East Coast and you would listen to it all the time. You know what I mean? Like, I'm really bad with band names, especially if they didn't live or they weren't like near and dear to my heart. It kind of just they just faded out,
This thing's fucking clogged.
Damn, I was hoping on that.
No, I just gotta unplug it. It's all good.
I just gotta unplug it.
This is a good part since you started bringing up the skinhead stuff. We're gonna take a break because we're almost out of time anyway, and we're gonna come back with episode 2, and we're gonna fucking break down. What was your name again?
Jason.
No, I know that.
DJ Skinhead Spirit 69, man.
Skinhead Spirit 69. We're gonna come right back, and we're gonna break down about this skinhead thing and the whole ideology and this guy's history about it, and we're gonna explain what the fuck is like really going on. This guy's not a Nazi. We'll be right back. Fucking subscribe. Fucking tell your moms, and your nieces and your aunties. Cheers.
Subscribe to Intoxxikated Television!
Cheers. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.